Hello everyone, here is a quick guide to the conditional type 0. Now, the 0 conditional expresses two connected facts. For example, if I have some spare time, I usually read a book. Fact number 1, I have some spare time. Fact number 2, I read a book. I could also say, I usually read a book if I have some spare time. Notice that when I start with what is called the if clause, so the half of the complex sentence that begins with if, I need to separate it by comma. But when I start with the main clause, so the half of the sentence that does not contain the word if, I don't need a comma. Punctuation, checked. In terms of structure, simple as it can be, both have and read are in the present simple. So in the if clause, we use present simple, and in the main clause, once again, present simple. And when you don't feel like saying if, you can replace it with a synonym. For the 0 conditional, the synonym is when. When the weather is nice, I like to take long walks. Of course, there are 3 more conditional types and a few mixed ones. Here's the quick guide to the conditional type 1 in English. So everything you need to know about the first conditional. Let's start with what it expresses, which is two connected actions that are hypothetical, so they haven't happened yet, but I believe that they could happen, so they are likely to happen in the future. Let's take an example so that we understand exactly what I mean. I could tell somebody, listen, if you hear something, let me know, will you? When I say this, I imply that the person I'm speaking to will probably hear something about whatever we are discussing, and when they do, I would like them to tell me about it. So the actions are likely to happen. Now, in terms of structure, what you need to pay attention to for the first conditional is that you use present simple after if. And in the other half, which is called the main clause, you can use an imperative, as we have in this example, but that's not all. As long as you use present simple after if, in the other half, so in the main clause, you can also use future. And if you are preparing for an advanced exam or you simply want to sound a bit more proficient in English, you can consider eliminating the word if and replacing it with should. Should you hear something, let me know. This is what you need to know about the first conditional in English. Welcome to the quick guide to the conditional type 2 structure in English. Everything you need to know about the second conditional is right here. Let's start with what it means. It connects two actions that I, the speaker, believe are unlikely to happen. So I'm not very confident that they will come true at all. Let's consider an example. If I say, if they had the money, they would buy that house. What I imply is that they don't have the money, so they cannot buy that house at this time. Now, let's zoom in on the structure a bit. It's quite specific. So after if, we use the past tense, and in the main clause, would plus infinitive. Naturally, this would plus infinitive can be in the negative as well. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that the verb to be should be in the form were after if in academic contexts. So pay attention to that. Also, if you are preparing for a more advanced exam or you want to sound fancier, you would like to consider replacing if with a more complex structure, such as, were they to have the money, they would buy that house. Or a rephrasal for the other example, where are you? I wouldn't do that. So you would start with this were and then invert the order of the words. This is the quick guide to the conditional type 3 structure in English. Everything you need to know about the third conditional in just under 2 minutes. Now, the third conditional connects two actions that didn't happen, but that we want to imagine how it could have been like if they had. So this is an exercise of imagination about how the past could have been. For example, when we say, if I had known anything, I would have told you. What we mean is that we had no idea, we didn't know anything, because otherwise we would definitely have said something. So these actions did not happen, but we wish we could have been able to inform our friend. About the structure, after if you need the past perfect, and in the main clause it's would plus have plus past participle. Told in this case is the past participle, the third form of the verb. As long as you keep the past perfect after if, in the main clause you can also use could instead of would. Could plus have plus past participle. In this case, the past participle is left. Now, if you want to sound a bit more proficient, if you want to impress, then you can use an inversion and eliminate the word if. Had I known anything, I would have told you. And there you have it. Hello everyone, let's look at the two most frequent types of mixed conditionals today. We've got, if we had practiced more, the song would sound a lot better. After if, in the if clause, we use past perfect, and in the main clause, we use would plus infinitive. We notice how it starts like a type 3, like a third conditional, and then it continues into the main clause like a second conditional. So what it means to say is that in the past, we didn't practice enough. So now, in the present, the song doesn't sound too well at all. Basically, the condition from the past, practicing, was not fulfilled. So the consequence can be seen in the present. Now, a second very frequent type of mixed conditional is a kind of reversed. We notice that it starts with a past tense, so in the if clause, it's got a past tense, and then in the main clause, it's got would plus have plus past participle. Granted, here it's the negative form, would not have collaborated, wouldn't have collaborated. So it starts like a type 2, a second conditional, and then it continues like a type 3. What it means to say is that in the past, we collaborated very well. But that's because we are generally, reliable and dedicated people. So this general feature of our personality made something possible in the past, our collaboration. Let's begin with the zero conditional. If you speak too fast, people can't follow what you're saying. We use present simple in the if clause and present simple in the main clause as well. We want to express the fact that these two facts are connected logically. The condition for people not to understand what you are saying is to speak too fast for them. Now, the first conditional, on the other hand, expresses actions that are possible, that are likely to happen in the future. For example, if you leave now, you will probably catch the morning train. So the condition is that you leave, present simple, after if, and the consequence, which is possible in the future, is that you will probably catch the morning train. So we use future there. We're not allowed to use will in the if clause after the word if, so we replace it with the present simple. Now, the second conditional, on the other hand, expresses two actions that are not very likely to happen. They are almost impossible to happen in the future. If we had more time, we would definitely travel more. But we don't have, do we? We have to work as well and do other things. So in the if clause, we use past simple to symbolize exactly this, the fact that we don't really have enough time to travel. And in the main clause, we use would and infinitive. The infinitive here is travel. Let's have a look at the third conditional, the one that looks back. It looks towards the past, and it imagines what it would have been like if the two actions actually took place, if they actually happened. If we had arrived earlier, we would have seen the entire concert. The implication is that we didn't. We didn't arrive on time, so we didn't see the concert fully. In the if clause, we use past perfect, and in the main clause, would plus have plus past participle. In this case, the past participle is seen. Finally, let's look at the two most frequent types of mixed conditionals. If we had paid more attention, we would know what it's talking about. We use past perfect after if in the if clause and would plus infinitive in the main clause. What we want to say is that the condition from the past, paying attention, was not fulfilled. So right now, in the present, we have no idea what it's talking about. And the other most frequent type of mixed conditional is if they were more reliable, I would have recommended their services to other people. This refers to a general feature, the fact that they are not very reliable. And we express this with the past simple. This needs to be seen as I said, general, an all-time available feature, the fact that they are not very committed. This caused me in the past not to recommend them to friends and family. So we use would plus have plus past participle. The past participle in this case is recommended. And this is roughly everything you need to know about the conditional structures in English. If you want to go into more depth with any of these, check out the individual dedicated videos to each and every one. Good luck and enjoy learning English, everyone.